So, hey, we are going to take a little bit of break from working on CRM to do something a little bit fun. Um, there is a site game, I don't know, uh, community called Battlesnake. And what they do is they run a AI powered snake game, like Snake, where you have to chase the apples and not run into yourself. So what's cool with this is the idea behind it is that you build a server. They send you information about what the status of the world is, and you reply with up, down, left, right. And you can do anything you want. You have, I think, half a second to respond, but that's all you have to do is just say up, down, left, right, and then you see if you win. So what I'm looking to do is build a new snake system. Um, yeah. So my idea for this is to well, I want to tackle a few things. So I've played with this a little bit before, where I actually tried to kind of build things out. But what I want to do is kind of start playing with some neural networks and some feedback AI stuff with this. So my idea for this is that I'm actually going to be building a snake AI system. So I'm going to come up with a bunch of different strategies. So a strategy might be always go up, which is a terrible strategy, but it's one. There could be a strategy that says move in a random direction. There's one that says avoid walls. There'll be one that says aggressively go after apples. One that's if you have two snakes and you run into the head of a snake, if your snake is bigger, then you will eat the other snake. So you can make something a snake that's aggressive and tries to eat other snakes. But each one of these different strategies are going to have kind of a weighting to say how aggressively. So that each strategy will say what its suggestion is and how strongly it recommends it, and then so and then with each so the idea behind it will be to create a bunch of different snakes, and each one of these snakes for each strategy will have a weighting. So the one that's super aggressive is gonna it's gonna say, so the aggressive strategy is gonna say go left, and 90%. And if you have a really aggressive snake, it's gonna say that's gonna be a listen to that strategy 90%. So that's gonna give a weighting for go left. Something that's a very timid snake will give it a rating of 0%. So with that case, it will null out to nothing. That's my alarm. So that's the idea. So you're basically doing like so then you're gonna play the snakes off each other, maximizes the weightings on these, and actually submit that. So the server will be running. You'll have all those different strategies, and then the snakes that seem to work well, those are the ones we actually will submit. So we might have 1,000 snakes or 1,000,000 snakes to do these different ratings, and then we'll figure out which weightings work well and use that as the actual one that's submitted to go into competitions and whatnot. So that's the idea. So I'm going to start tackling that. Naturally, because we're trying to maximize this, the name for this project is going to be Maximum BS for Maximum Battlesnake. And so yeah, let's get started with that. So we're going to do a Rails new max BS, and we're not going to do any tests on this. We'll use RSpec at that point when we need it. The database is going to be PostgreSQL. For CSS, we use Tailwind CSS, I think it is. I don't think we have much in terms of crazy. Why did that do import map? Have I already screwed something up? Let's see. Rails 7 Tailwind and ES build. Those new hardware dash tailwind JavaScript ES build. Tailwind JavaScript is ES build. RMRF and Tailwind ES build Postgres. All right, we got ES build down there. Okay. Let's just get everything in here. All right. So we're going to bundle add. We do clearance for auth on this. And we're going to do a Rails G, I think it's clearance install. And we're going to load it up. All right. The config environments, we're going to put that in. And we're going to throw that into our layout. And throw in the flash. Let's create the database, and it already exists because I was testing some other stuff. So let's nuke those. And try that again. And let's migrate that up. Why do you not? Let's delete that. Clearance install did not like. So identical insert all users. All right, that should be better. And let's just make sure this isn't doing anything dumb. So we got our clearance in there. We've got our model user, which that should not have that in there duplicated. All right, layouts is good. Environment, add that. Clearance, sure. Yeah. Email encrypted. Okay. And let's do a bin dev on this and get it running. Great. And let's do a local host. 3000 sign up. All right. Okay. So structurally, what we're going to have is we're going to have snakes. We're going to have a whole bunch of strategies built in. So each snake is then going to have weightings for its different strategies. So let's get started with that. All right, so we want to do a Rails G model snake. So snake is going to have, I don't know, a name, slug, I don't know. So I think that we get into this, we're going to probably have something like a generation, a parent, when it was archived or something like that, but we're not going to go into there just yet. So that's probably going to be sufficient. All right, let's save that. And that's going to be null false. This is going to be null false or fails. All right, that's good. And I'm going to make on the routes. So there's going to be a resources for snakes. And I can make the home page be snakes index. So this should now yell at me to migrate. Yeah, let's do that. And it doesn't have a snakes controller. Okay, so let's make that snakes controller. So a lot of times I'll make a secure controller, which is basically something that's going to be requiring sign-in, but that means you can put in here helpers that only make sense if you're signed in. So right, you can find index naturally. So we're going to all snakes. We're going to order by name. All right, and we will create a snakes. And in here, we will make our index. All right, so we're going to render snakes snake partial, the collection of snakes. So I a lot of times will do the sorting or whatever, or sorry, the selection inside the controller, but I'll do the sorting actually in the view itself. I don't know why we have a snake already. That's odd. So we don't have any snakes yet, so that's fine. Let's just go in here and we are going to hopefully learn how to type. We're just going to link to new snake path. One of the joys of Tailwind is it removes kind of all styling, but we can add that back in really easily. So one of the things I wanted to do with this is I want to play with simple forms. It's one thing I've never really worked with too much, and it's kind of been on my to-do list. So I think I'm going to. All right. So this could all have been undone probably with a scaffold pretty easily. But then a lot of stuff has to be deleted, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So you know what, for right now, I'm just doing a form with. No, I'll do it. All right, so let's check out simple form gem. Do they have anything for Tailwind? No. All right. Initializer, simple form. Locale, simple form. Templates, ERB, scaffold form. Okay. That's all fine. So this is simple form with 4. I'm curious if this is going to be a remote or not. F'd up button, submit. Let's see what this generates for us. Input. All right, so we have form, class, ID, no validate, action, and accept shared method post. So this is not being a remote one. So something to check. We have our input string, optional, string name, string optional for da da da. Okay, and let's submit. All right. And if I submit, So in here, we want our params permit snake dot permit name, but we want it to dot require snake. All right, slugs null. Okay, so if we go into our snake, on here we want a B for validate set slug. And I'm just gonna do something stupid right now and do self.slug equals name. Why does it say my snake? All right, let that go through with a blank. Good. Sneaky. All right, and let's update that snakes there, and we're just gonna have this do div and fat finger my way to snake.name. Okay, and we're also going to have a snake dot URL. Actually, we'll do URL for no, we'll do on here. We want to do so we want to have something. We're going to have something like a snake combat path. Sure. Snake combat URL. And it's going to yell at me. Perfect. So in here for our snakes, we're going to do, and we have a resource of combat. And this is going to be only show. All right, so snakes to combat. Great. But that's not very, sorry, I use the word great loosely. In here, I don't know, let's actually do, for a snake, in here, All right. So we have HTTP yoga snakes, snaky / combat. All right, that's beautiful. Great. So this is actually what we use for when we actually play the game. Okay. So how's that going to work? So let's actually let's commit what we have. Yeah, sure. Yep. All right. All right, so actually we're gonna make a new snake, and this is gonna be goes up and goes down. All right, so when we want to have a new combat controller. All right, so in here we're gonna have a snake, and that is gonna be snake dot find. I don't usually use this. I think it's find by slug, and we're gonna do params ID. And let me just check this specs on this. All right. Battlesnake API reference. All right. Okay, so actually I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. So well, let's start by doing the get. So if we get on the combat, then we want something like this. It also says that it's the top level URL. I wonder if it's allowed to get a subpath. We'll see. Okay. Version, tail, head, color, author, API version. Okay. So we're going to hit this show and let's just do something absolutely stupid like that and see what happens. All right. So with that in place, I want to see if this works. And that'll be ignored, so it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter, so we only have this move that we actually want to hit. Okay. That's fine. So in here, the CLI. So this is a Go program that actually lets you run your own local server that will be hitting your server. So in here, we can go Battlesnake play width 11, height 11, and snaky. And that's going to be at HTTP localhost 3000 / snaky. I need to do a URL on that. Goes down. Oh, that's interesting. No, it helps if I use the right address. What does that give me if I do that? A whole bunch of stuff. Snakes, snaky, combat. Combat's controller doesn't exist. No, it does not. That's better. Why is it asking for that? I think I can do that for this. Check a quick lookup of that. Rails, rotor, default. Format. Whew. All right. So I got real mad, I'm assuming. Yep. About combat move missing and end missing. All right. So So what I'm going to do in here is I'm actually going to, let me think. We want to do a name space. This is not going to be good if we keep it for moving forward. We also want this to take a post. All right. We're going to post start and end and move. Oh, I want that up. And so if you look at this now, what we've got is that's going to a start, an end, and a move. All right. All right, let's just basically null this out. Do nothing much. The move, we will want it to do stuff though. All right, so when we do move, let's throw in here a new file. This is gonna be move.json.erb, and we'll just have this return. What's the format for this? Cool. And let's see if this just works at least. Ooh, didn't like something. Authenticity. Combats. Right, so this is doing, this is checking for an authenticity token, and we want to disable that. Rails disable. All right, there we go. Goes down, food's free, da 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 da. Game complete after 3 turns. Snaky was the winner. Cool. Now, one other thing I want to do on here, just to see if we can see what's going on, is -- browser. It was done before it even could load up. Okay, oh, that's fine. Cool. All right, so I think let's stop there. So what we've done with this is we've set up a snake, we've set up responses. It's a dumb response, we're not actually doing anything, but we can see that's working, and it's working with a test server. So I think that's a good place to call it quits for today. All right, take care. See you next time.